You see here that we are logged into our S3 management console. And so we'll go ahead and create a bucket. And we'll give it a hopefully unique name. And so that looks good. And so here, we'll go ahead and turn this on here. You can also enable this on buckets that already exist. And we'll show where to do that here in just a second. While we're at it, we'll also go ahead and, because we like encryption, encryption's a great security control, provide some additional management of our protection of our data. And so we'll go ahead and enable S3 encryption and go ahead and create that bucket. All right, so we have our bucket name here. If you were enabling this on an existing bucket, you would go under properties here, and then you would enable versioning here. You can see our options now are suspend and enable, and suspend has the effect of not creating any new versions of files as they're uploaded, but existing versions of files are not affected while in suspend mode. And so now let's come over here to our objects, and we'll go ahead and upload a file. We'll just grab some lorem ipsum text and upload that, and you see, sure enough, we have a file. Yay us. And so now to see the versioning in action, let's go ahead and upload the same file again. All you need to do to create multiple versions is upload a file with the same name. And that will create the second version of the file. So sure enough, that's successfully uploaded. You see here we also have a list of versions. So we can see that we now have two versions. We have the current version, the one we just uploaded, as well as the previous version. Now, if we were to delete this file, this will only delete the most current version, in which case it'll make our next most current version the current version of the file. And so that's how you revert back to. If you did need to if you needed to go back several versions of the file, you would have to download the file specifically. And then upload it again as the new version within the console or using the CLI commands. All right, so now with that in place, let's go look at lifecycle management rules. And so we'll come here under management and then create a new lifecycle rule. We'll just give it a name, Randy's Lifecycle rule, why not? That sounds great. We'll make this rule apply to all objects. Yes, I acknowledge that it will do that. And now we get these checkboxes for the different actions that we can make our lifecycle rule take. And so we can transition current versions between storage classes. Storage classes in S3 are a great way to save a little money. Different storage classes have different access parameters to them. With the standard retail rate on S3, being the most expensive option, you can move to infrequently accessed or Glacier or some of the other storage classes and save some money for objects that maybe you need to keep them around, but you probably don't need to access them on demand like you would any other object in the traditional standard retail class. So then we can also transition previous versions between storage classes, expire. Now, as we add these checkboxes, we are getting different configuration boxes down here. So if I turn this on, just to demonstrate, right? So you see how the different boxes, configuration options are changing down here. And so then it's just a matter of, setting these numbers up, right? So we'll try to, I don't know, we're just going to make some stuff up. We're going to transition to standard IA for current objects after 30 days. We will transition, for non-current versions. You know what? We'll also do that at 30 days. We will expire objects, current versions after 6 months. Permanently delete objects 60 days after we actually mark the deletion. When you delete a file in S3, you are marking it for deletion. You're not actually deleting it. And so that's what we're configuring here is the cleanup action to actually go back through and delete those items, right? Actually, I'm sorry, we're doing that one here, right? And so, after deletion, let's see, after deletion, 60 days after we mark something for deletion, we'll go ahead and automatically remove it, right? Now, as we set these things up, we get the different timeline summaries for current versions as well as for previous versions. So we get to see how these rules are actually going to react. And so we'll go ahead and create our rule, and now we have a lifecycle rule set up to manage our S3 content along with versions, so that we're not unnecessarily keeping information around for a really long time. That concludes our video on S3 versioning.